is the way every time. I go make you shine.
DJ Zeke in the building.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on?
Sometimes me land and pick up new people. Sometimes me land and drop them same people. Sometimes me land at all. Sometimes me want with me pace from a plane can't fall. Jaja, you know I'm the real. Jaja, you know how I feel. Jaja, we make that deal. We promise, we promise, we promise. You promise me and I believe me. We promise you come once we keep it.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I do not own the rights to this music.
Good evening. Do not attempt to adjust your radio.
There is nothing wrong.
We have taken control as to bring you this special show. We will return it to you as soon as you
talk to him, Rob.
It's been a long time. I take a left view. Without a strong rhyme, step two.
Think of how many weeks shows you slept through. Time's up.
I'm sorry I kept you.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? This Pops. I just wanted to pop in real quick. Hey, play on words. Pops and Pop Gems. You know, coming up, we got Pop's perspective.
Let's tell you what it is, tell you what it ain't. Giving you the real, we'll never do fake. Life is a gift, but sometimes we need guidance. Pop's perspective.
You know it's only time.
All that alignment.
Yeah. Pop's Gems.
You know he really helps. If somebody's confidence, then let you know he has to say.
You don't want to miss. Don't beat me there, beat me down. Pop's perspective, Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dudes, dudettes, as they say, or they used to say, welcome once again. This is Pops from Pop's Gems, and this is Pop's Perspective. Welcome to another show. Before we move any further, I can't go anywhere without first giving honor to the Most High. We give all praises to God, who's the head of my life. Truly, without him, I would not be here, and none of this would be possible. So we definitely give shout outs, as they say, to our most high God. Want to send a special shout out to Exotic Pops, Lefty Global and Notorious True. Exotic Pops, you can find them at Poppin' Snacks and Orange Blossom Trail, out in Mount Dora and out on East Colonial. Poppin' Snacks, shout out to, again, Notorious True and Lefty _Global. Follow them and you'll see where to get some great pops. Good and good soda, you know. I mean, I'm old school, but, you know, if you like a good cream soda, I mean a real cream soda, and they have different flavors and varieties and all kinds of snacks, so you definitely want to partake of that. My newly found friends and family, the Safe House 3, you can find them on Spotify. For those of you who've been watching the show, last couple shows we had B-Mac on here. Shout out to him. Lefty _Global, part of that crew, and then Peanut. They were on the show, and then we did a good interview with them. Definitely off the chain. And then B-Mac came and helped me co-host last week. So we want to send a shout out to the Safe House 3. Find them on Spotify Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Good topics, open conversation, safe space. So definitely want to send a shout out to him. Wouldn't be me if I didn't send out to a special shout out to Create the Panic, All Seasons Shop, Create the Panic, Change Your Perspective. My son, who has his clothing line, make sure you patronize him. As you can see, once again and again and again, he got Pops looking. I told him to cut it down real low like this because it's summertime is coming. Y'all know how Florida get. Not only that, it'll grow back. It's only how. All right. Jay Iris, you heard him here numerous times. He's even been on the show. And we've interviewed him. We'll play his music time to time. The song that you was listening to when we came in is Coolie Baby, and a good song. She's a gifted young lady, very talented. You can find her on Spotify. That's CoolieBabie. And so we want to send a shout out to them. And then most importantly, Pierre, I got to send out to all the gemologists, all of my gemologists, you, and you. We thought it out, Robert. You tune into the show week after week, faithfully supporting when you can. I definitely appreciate it. Sticking through with Pops through all his ups and downs, hospitals in and out, and things of that nature. You know, just to drop a couple things I want to do, and maybe you can help me come up with some ideas, Pierre, and I'm sure you can. I want to do a super health preventive awareness. And a lot of times we deal head on with issues once they are upon us, but I want to deal in genealogical preventive health measures. I hear background. And that's dealing with, like, if you know in your family, you know, you got history of this, that, and the other, then you know there are some steps to take to prevent that. So just threw that in there, sidebar, remind me about that later. But also want to do, am I my brother's keeper? Told you a long time ago when God put this on my heart. He said, you know, you got to send out positive energy. You got to pray for other people. And sometimes people don't need to know you praying for them. Sometimes it's better they don't know you praying for them, so they can come to a revelation. But I'm not gonna preach. But anyway, everybody needs some positive energy. I don't know who you serve. I serve God, Jesus, the Christ, the Christos, Messiah, whatever your higher power is. I know you believe in positive and negative energy. That's universal. That's not linked to any spiritual means. So we want to send some positive energy to whoever came across your mind. You know, you was sitting there today at the computer. You was eating lunch. You was doing something, waiting on the bus. You was scrolling, and somebody popped in your mind. And so for the next 10 seconds, just 10, you can do it on your leisure. But we want to send some positive energy out as portion of our Am I My Brother's Keeper? All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, and the energies out there, those of you that it was intended for, may you receive it and be rejuvenated hundredfold. Pierre, what's good, my brother? What's going on?
What's going
Unusual
on, my
fella.
family? How you feeling? You been all right?
Man, I'm telling you, it's a bittersweet when you deal with truth and faith, and I'll
Understood.
talk about that one day. Truth of the matter is, I'm hurting. Faith is, I'm
Hmm.
gonna get better. Right now,
Okay.
I'm on, like they say, the road to the halftime. I'm on the road to recovery, but I'm getting better. You know, it's
I love.
one day at a
Hey,
time, one step at a time.
absolutely, Doc. I
You
love to
know,
hear, man. I
yeah,
love to hear um what that looks like as far as your journey, and many blessings and prayers go out to you. I know that uh, just as you continue to move along that journey, you'll have some real gems to share with us eventually. So I know that's gonna be a big deal.
I appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that. For those of you who don't know, me and Pierre, we go back, we go way back, and oh, remind me, I got to talk to you about something later too. But we go way back, and when we met, there was never anything remotely negative, anything subliminal, anything. It was just friendship off the bat. We helped one another out the best we could. We did what we could, and so uh, we've both evolved. And I'm proud of this young man who had a vision way back then and has brought that and more into fruition. This gentleman that I'm about to present to some and introduce to others is the spearheader of what they call the road to halftime. And he'll explain more about what that is. But when you have a love for people and you want to provide people opportunity and you want to be the catalyst or the ladder or the bridge in which others reach the success. You just cut out to tailor made for success. So welcome me and help me in joining, in having joined the Pops Gems, Pops Perspective. I introduce to you Mr. Pierre. I call him Pierre. He has many nom de voirs, Boogaloo, DJ Zeke. He dances, he DJs, he puts together shows. What can he do? Look up in the air. It's a bird. It's a plane. Welcome again, my brother.
I appreciate you all, man. Thank you, Pops, for having me on. Shout out to Pops Gyms first and foremost, and giving all honor to God. It's your God-given talent. So I think what's most important is that everybody that's watching up under the sound of my voice, up under Pop's voice, there's a special talent that's locked away that's meant to actually change the world. Just imagine, the very things that we have today, right? Somebody had to not goof off and actually go do something to change the world. So from cell phones to light bulbs to, trash bags, like simple stuff. Stuff that we know that we can't do without these days. So y'all all got a God given talent. Tap into it. I promise you'll change the world. But let me talk about Road to Halftime. So shout out to my business partner Gene Culver. Absolutely great individual. We started brainstorming this concept back in like 2021, just after the pandemic. We were all coming out of that hole, right? And so we were sitting down and we were trying to figure out a way to help independent artists really take their reach, kind of their outreach to people to just a different level, right? To something different. And so because I've done pregame performances with the Orlando Magic, shout out to Nathan Berger, Caitlin Williamson, Norm, Tyler, the entire live entertainment team, man. I love y'all. Y'all are like my heartbeat out there. But we just, had to sit down and kind of figure this idea, this concept out. And so we began to brainstorm a lot. And so from that brainstorming, we created Road to Halftime. Essentially, this is basically tracking the journey of 6 lucky artists that end up, winning a competition and going from just being kind of, known to now being superstars. And they end up performing in front of 30,000 people in a sports like arena for a halftime show.
Wow.
And we track the journey.
Wow. Okay. Now, so it was originally you. Was it you the original concept that put it together, and then you went out and solicited some dancers, and mind you, because you got to tell the whole background, you got to tell the whole story. Pierre is involved in dancing. Matter of fact, on the job, that's one of the things that we used to discuss and talk about. Uh, was that hey Quinny the Pooh, I see you. I'm gonna introduce y'all to my secretive daughter one day. She likes to be incognito, but I'm gonna introduce y'all to it one time. That's my heartbeat now. Listen, look, you'd have to put commissary behind that one. You have to put commissary on the books behind that one. But so Pierre dances. So and I say that because he also DJs and he used to hold it down, and he still does. But when you're gonna do something and you're putting together something of this magnitude, it's not like you're just reaching out. He stayed. He got out of his comfort zone. I'm with the storyteller a little bit. Got out of his comfort zone, but yet maintained the tools that he had in his comfort zone, took them with him. The dancing background, the music background, and of course, where we worked together, there was networking background was very prevalent. So it wasn't anything to reach out and find people. And he has the gift of gab. Y'all might hear my dog. He has the gift of gab,
Absolutely.
as we do. But
Absolutely.
so when these people came to try out, it wasn't like, he didn't know what he was doing. It wasn't just an idea. Say, hey, let's put together a halftime show. You know anybody that can dance? No, he was already involved in that. What about music? He already knew what
Right.
genre because I've DJ'd or I've emceed a couple high school basketball games,
Mhm.
and you got it's all timing. It's all timing when
Mm,
it comes to the music. And when
true.
it comes to the music, you got to know, that's fast paced. That's a hype crowd.
Hmm.
That's that type of environment. With maybe some comedy and stuff. So, it takes a special person to be able to put that together and filter out what will sell and what won't sell. And I know I'm going
That
kind
is
of
absolutely
deep,
correct.
but
Nah, nah, I mean,
yeah,
you're taking it there, pops. I mean, I just wanted to give, the people a high level overview of what's actually happening. And
right.
so to dive even deeper into this, yes, dances were absolutely included. So not only do artists end up winning a competition and performing in front of a large arena for a sporting event, such as an NBA halftime show, you get the works. You get dancers, clothing, attire, hair and makeup, all of those great things. So those things are all a part of sensation and making you that superstar. And so that's basically what it is. So as we've wrapped up this first season from the Orlando Magic, for those who don't know, you can go directly to my Instagram page, or you can go to Road to Halftime.
Pin it,
Um,
pin
Insta-
it, so I can
oh,
put it in
absolutely,
there so I can put it.
absolutely,
And I got
absolutely.
and I got an idea why you pin it. What if we had a Crump team do a halftime show? Yeah,
Now that's. I mean, that
Mijo,
could be a little
Nadal,
situation. That might be a
okay,
little situation.
Ryder, Seasons, AK. I'm calling y'all out. Y'all watching? We might need to
That
put
might be
something together. A little
that
something,
might be a situation. That might be a
matchmaker over
situation.
here. Another thing I thought about too was, and I thought about it, but while I was sitting here, it kind of came to mind. I thought about maybe spoken word, but it's too noisy. They really wouldn't be able to, if it's a halftime show, I
Right.
think
Now,
it would be
what you can do is you can incorporate spoken word with movement. So if the spoken word artist is speaking and people are moving almost like pantomime, then it
right.
kind of it kind of creates a different
Like them
parallel to
twins,
that.
Les and them,
Yeah, like the
maybe.
Les
Okay,
twins. Yeah,
okay.
basically that's kind of how it would look. So, but to take you all even deeper into
Yeah,
this
let's
rabbit
go. We
hole,
on the
to
way. All right, so we
you
signed
know,
up. We ready to
yeah.
go.
So now that you signed up and you're ready to go and you come to the audition, and let's just say you get chosen, right? You get selected. From there, you actually get a contract that lets you know, like, hey, this is non-disclosure agreement. It's just as if you were actually competing for something like American Idol. So it's
Exactly.
the same exact
That's it.
concept. Yeah, the exact same concept. So this is to be taken serious. And there are a lot of individuals, and we'll name some of our special people, and I may have something special for y'all tonight, which is an artist that's going to hang out with us. So we'll
Okay.
see how that goes. But and she can give her perspective on tonight's broadcast, and not only just that, but give you all some insight on exactly what it means to be a part of this journey called Road to Halftime. So now that you signed up and you won this
So
competition, you
So again, let me pause right there when you talk about the audition. So you got a panel of judges. Who are the judges that are gonna? I mean, because it's set up like you said, it's kind of set up like American Idol, where you got to audition to even audition type scenario, audition to
absolutely
and you still ain't there. You just
right. you just get past
you
you
just
just get
got the
past the
gold.
first
You ain't
round.
got the golden ticket yet. Simon ain't hit no
Right.
buzzer.
Right, exactly. So the judges are actually panels of individuals. We selected last year. We had two premier DJs that worked with renowned artists based out of Tampa. Shout out to DJ Head Buster. Happy birthday to the homie.
Happy
Just
birthday!
celebrated you,
I don't know you.
and
Come on the
it's
show.
all good. so yeah. So we had two world-renowned DJs that were part of that. One of them was a great friend of mine, great colleague, great mentor, DJ Headbuster, and the other panels were individuals that have held music conferences and or writing camps here locally in the city for independent artists. So what we were essentially wanting to do was to bring an entire team together that allowed the artists to be seen from a entertainment perspective, which is like a DJ perspective, right? The wow factor, like do they have what it takes? And then we have individuals that see it from a composition perspective, like a writer's perspective, like are they delivering a message? Is it positive? Does it invoke something? Like how do we feel when their stage presence is there? So that's why we chose the individuals on the panel that we did. And every year it's going to change. So each year those things change
Is
as
that
we.
is that background noise? That's you.
I think it might be. Hold on a second.
Please stand by for technical difficulties as we tweak the system that you might have clear audio. This sports announcement is brought to you by. But yeah, Road to Halftime sounds like they got it together. Listen, they are serious business. If and I say
Okay.
that for yeah, awesome. I say that for can you hear me now? Sound like a bicycle. I say that for those of you that aspire to want to to want to do this. This is it. This is the way uh, for you to get there. And I want to jump in there and let you finish, but I just want to say, this is an opportunity that not everybody gets, and so we can't sit up here and cry about, oh, I ain't had a chance. If I just had a break, here's your break. Here's the opportunity.
Absolutely. No, no, you're speaking truth at this point. And Pops, just to let everybody know, I think it's absolutely important for people to understand that as you're working on your craft and as you're working on your gift and your talent, every break won't be the big break. And so there was a very smart young lady that used to ask me this question all the time. She said, Pierre, when are you going to actually get your big break? And I told her this statement. I said, this is the break. This is the break that leads to the next one, that leads to the next one, that leads to the next one, that leads to the next one. And she's an incredible young lady. She's a really good friend of mine. We've been close for a long time. But I remember her asking me that question just after I graduated from college. And she was just like, I just need to know like when this is gonna actually hit. But that's what I tell people. This is a slow moving train.
It
Your
is.
journey is always going to be a slow moving train. And I will tell you all something. The name of the game isn't to get to your destination as fast as possible. It's to make sure that you build the right train, so that way, no matter where you're going, nothing can stop you. Nothing
Right,
can really
right.
get in your way. So that's essentially what it all really boils down to. So I
Right.
encourage all of you all to continue to be in your craft. Stay in your bag, stay performing at shows. Make sure that you reach out to your fans. Make sure you engage, and things of that nature. So those things are absolutely 110% important. Um, Let me see something here. There's a young lady that I need to invite
Well, you
into
go
this
ahead
camp.
and let me say this for a
Hmm.
conversation. And they said it in NWA. There is no bad publicity,
Mm,
so don't
come on.
feel like because you went out, and you auditioned, and you didn't make this round, that you're out of the game because it's like I say all the time. A drop in water does not uh, so when you drop something in water, the splash doesn't end there. There's a ripple effect, and you don't know who was watching you, who was performing you. I was watching the movie Crush Groove. I'm old school, I'm real to real. I'm before rap was rap. But in the story Crush Groove, in the movie Crush Groove, which involved Run DMC and the Fat Boys and everything, um, the way it happened was the Fat Boys went out for a talent contest and they lost. And Curtis Blow seen them, and he told them, "Listen, they need a backup in case New Edition don't show up at the show. I'm gonna see if I can get y'all that spot." And sure enough, New Edition called out, but because of what they did at the first performance and they gave it their all, they found an interest in Curtis Blow. He went and he made an appeal for them, and then they got their break. So I said that to say, just because you don't win the whole pie, you got to consider this too. Some paths are not meant for you to go down, and so every no is not, every closed door is not a no. You see what I'm saying? You just didn't have the key to go in that room. Your key's gonna fit the right door. You just got to keep going. You could try the door, but what I'm saying is, you know, don't get all upset because you put all out, you studied, you practiced, you did this, you did that, and oh, the judges were unfair. Somebody's seeing you,
Right.
and if
That's
for
100% correct.
yeah, and if for nothing else, you should get self gratification knowing that you was able to discipline yourself to get to that point, and just gotta keep pressing. You gotta keep pressing.
Absolutely. And shout out to my dancers, most importantly. I don't really give my dancers a ton of credit as I should. Dance is my first love, so I gotta definitely give praise to my dancers. The artists, they really did it. So shout out to Dida Joe, to D Goodson, to Eman, and she'll be joining us shortly.
She here
Shout
now.
out to shout out to Lindsay McHale. Shout out to Wilfredo, and shout out to KO Man. So you all were absolutely amazing. KO Man came all the way up from Miami for this opportunity. And so just to let y'all know, dedication is everything. There she is. That's the homie. What's
Hello.
up?
How are
Hello,
I
you?
hello. Welcome.
Thank
absolutely,
you. Thank
absolutely.
you.
Well, Pops, I want to introduce you to one of our season one winners, an amazing phenom by all stretch of the imagination. Imen is an amazing individual, reggaeton pop,
What?
uh, violinist,
Okay.
supermodel. Yeah, like I don't even want to go that far into. I'm gonna let her really talk about herself. But ladies and gentlemen, Pops Gems, I want to introduce you all to my beautiful winner, the amazing E-Man.
Oh
Y'all
Iman,
give it up.
God, thank
welcome,
you.
welcome, welcome. It
Thank you, thank
is
you.
it is a pleasure. I know that when you're dealing with this gentleman here, definitely you're in good hands and good company. And when Pierre speaks highly of you, trust it, he gonna cut the cheese where it meet the road, or how the saying goes. If you're not good, he's not gonna say you're good.
Right, right.
So
And no, and he made sure to tell me that when we started rehearsals and my dancing wasn't that good. Oh God, I was like, Pierre, I am not Jenna Jackson, but we'll figure something
we'll
out.
figure some out. Talk about it. Okay, so where you from? Naturally, we want to know
Okay.
that. Where you from?
So I'm originally from Syria, so Middle
Okay,
Eastern.
okay. And what brought you to fast forward without the it was
So
a tent by the river. No, what fast forward to
So let's
right
go
there
back to
halftime.
2005. No, I'm just kidding. I was born in Syria. I moved around. I lived in South America. I lived in Venezuela. I've been in the U.S. for a little over 10 years now. I'm a classically trained violinist. I've been playing the violin for a little over 18 years. I play all
Wow,
strings, guitar, piano,
you've
all
been playing
strings.
since you was two.
Yeah. I could play before I could talk. And honestly, sometimes when I talk to some people, I wish I didn't know how to talk.
Yeah.
um, so fast forward to a little before January 2023, which is when the 2024, which is when the auditions were. I had always driven by the Kia Center, the Amway Center, the Kia Center, and I was like, shoot, I want to play at the Kia Center. I want to play, whether it's the national anthem, like it would be so cool. And then somehow I end up with this link of these two men, one of them shorter than the other. You can figure out who's who. And they were like, listen, come on out to these auditions. And I was like, there's no way I'll get it. But I thought about it. I was like, okay, let me audition. When I'm getting ready for the audition, I realized that it has to be original music. I'm like, oh my God, all I write is depressing stuff. That's not gonna give me no halftime show. So I went to the studio. I had
See,
this little
Pierre, I
melody.
told you.
I had this little melody stuck in my head, and I recorded this little single called Dime. I
Okay.
auditioned with it. I played the violin at the audition. I was like, that's the only thing that's gonna make me stand out. And I wore glitter because when I'm in doubt, I wear glitter. So that's all I did. I played the violin. I sang the song. I was like, well, hopefully these Americanos will understand what I'm saying. I had everybody dancing. I left thinking I did not get the audition.
What?
Um, when the results were supposed to come out, they didn't. They gave us 48 hours. I didn't do anything for 40. I couldn't work out. I was just like,
Stuck.
so then they announced it. I should have gotten ready because my mom was recording when they announced who won. I did not think ahead because I didn't think I was gonna get it, and I was the first person they announced at the audition video. Pierre looked so cool in this little airplane studio. I was like, you see, I'm suffering, and these people are sitting there in their airplane studio
She
chilling.
hard on you, bro. She hard.
And we rehearsed a lot. I am proud to say I did not miss a single rehearsal.
Okay.
And yeah, at some point I was like, Lord, if I don't get this right, Pierre's gonna kill me. So, and everybody did such an amazing job. The dancers, the other artists. I was very, very blessed to be a part of the halftime show, and I will forever be grateful. It was the coolest experience of my career so far. And yeah, we even made Pierre cry. So like, hello.
But he a softy anyway, so you know.
Well, outside of the studio
No,
because
he cried. He cried at Lion King.
yeah, no, well, but where he wasn't crying? He wasn't crying when he was yelling at us about,
I
wedge
was
that.
not.
That's
I
not
No,
right.
I was not.
he was
No.
acting like
So
Pinky the
No,
Brain, huh?
listen,
never.
man, listen. So pops, I promise you. So and Eamon, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you just for telling your story. Nah, like it's amazing. And so the rehearsals were grueling. So we literally had 90 days
Wow.
to literally put the entire show from ground zero into what you all see as that trailer on Instagram right now. And so shout out to DG Beck Studios. Y'all are my heart and soul. Y'all really came through and really gave us a lot of love. And so we thank DG Beck and our sponsors, Z Legacy, Call Mars. Thank y'all so much for just putting this together. Shout out to Kona, wherever you are, my brother.
Oh no.
You know what I'm saying, for production. And the reality is, y'all, like these auditions they're not for the weekend lighthearted. And
Right.
these dancers had it worse than the artists did.
Oh
Cause
yeah.
I wasn't playing with my dancers at all.
So you
So,
had to sing and dance?
Well, I
right.
did it.
Oh, you did. You
You know,
just played the violin.
yeah, and I played the violin. I mean, honey, they got 3 for 1.
Oh
They should have
wow.
paid me triple, but whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh
No, but
goodness.
listen, like if you're an artist and you're doubting it, you don't know if this is for you. It was honestly such a cool experience. It was stressful. I'm not gonna lie. But he says 90, I say 60. I think we actually had 60 days because it's not just the fact that it was like, oh, we just have to choreograph. It was putting 6 artists with
Mm.
completely different styles. You had a rapper, you had a Christian rapper, you had hip hop by a white girl, and then you had reggaeton by a girl that barely spoke English, and then you had an R&B amazing singer and a rock star. How do you put that all in a track? It was very difficult, and I don't know how they did it, but it
They
was a
did it
really,
though.
really cool show.
So what's next for Imen?
Amen.
Is that how you pronounce it? Imen?
Well, I decided to do a genre switch, and I currently am working on my first studio album for pop.
Let's
So
go.
yes, so the
Okay.
album will be coming out in November.
So
Still don't have the date
so you got
for
to come
that.
back to Pop's Gyms and drop it on the show.
Yes, sir.
We'll drop it on the
But that's if
show.
I get invited. Is this my official invitation?
I just told you you got to come back and drop it on the show. We'll
Perfect.
do the interview and everything. It won't be a road to the release or nothing. But so now, I gotta ask you
Mhm.
this, and Pierre knows I was gonna do it when I asked. Where's your violin?
Oh God, not with me. I'm not home. I owe you the song.
I was gonna say I wanted to hear that new song you put
Oh,
together. The
oh
one,
Lord, I
the
owe it
one,
to you
the one that you did for the audition.
for the audition.
Remember you
D-May?
said you put something
Yeah.
together?
So the song that's what we played for
Okay,
the show.
when you come back, play something.
I
Play
got
whatever you
you.
want. All right, all right.
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay. So, you're gonna release your album. You're working on that. That's awesome. What information or what words of encouragement, by way of encouragement, would you give somebody that was in your scenario or aspiring to get publicity? I mean, I know, like I said, but if I know that if you was when you write the book, you need to write the book. So I tell everybody that write the book. But when you write the book, you'll see when you know every time you said you drove by the kids and you said I'm gonna play there one day. I'm gonna play there one day. And Pierre, I think there's so many topics that can deal off of that. Speaking into existence, words have power. You are what you say you are. But you believed it,
Absolutely, Pop.
and you
Absolutely.
had that, and you brought that into fruition. And so, but you also admit it was very difficult. So, what would you say for somebody that's right there at the edge, they're ready to jump, but they're hesitant?
You have one life, and you need to stop doubting yourself, and you need to stop thinking you're not gonna be cool, because you're not. But the truth is no one's cool. Everybody's weird. Everybody's pretending to be cool, and you're gonna get criticized. But you need to realize that once you get older, and maybe you don't have the opportunity you do, you're gonna regret that you didn't even try. Not everybody makes it. I might not make it. It's the truth. But when I'm 50 years old, I know that I won't be like, what if?
Right,
And
right.
if you're aspiring and if you believe in your talent, what's the worst thing that they can say? No? Cool. 1,000 doors close, and you can be in a room with 100 different people, and all you need is one person to believe in you.
That's it.
And if you can believe in yourself, then you already got halfway there. So that would be my advice. It's that simple.
And I don't think y'all
I
understand. I don't think y'all understand how young this young lady is. To
I
have
want to
this
say she's
kind of,
20.
Just turned 20.
See, and when I
I'm just saying,
say she's been
y'all.
doing since she was 2, she's like, yeah, I was like, so you're 20 years, 18 years. Um,
Absolutely.
I want to thank you first and foremost for taking time to come on the show. I want to thank you for the individual that you are, because of who you are, and it was time. I don't believe in circumstance or happenstance or chance. It was destined for you to be here. Somebody needed to hear what you had to share. Definitely an open invitation to come back anytime
Thank you
you
so
want to come
much. I
back on the
appreciate it.
show. I'm a hold you to the song. And then the one last thing I want, when the album is actually released, if you know it ain't like before where you had CDs and records and 45. Let me go way back then. But I'm sure that when you release your album, you're gonna have a CD. I just want you to sign me a copy. I'll pay for it, shipping and everything.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely. I got you.
and
I'll send you Pierre's copy and then make Pierre buy one on his
oh
own.
wow. And then see that you can get the healing and everything. And then, but also what I want to do is I want to put your song on my playlist for the show.
Okay.
So I'll play that. I'll
Thank you. I
play that.
appreciate it.
And then when you make it big time, I guess I should hire her now before she makes it big time. I need another theme song. I got a theme song for the show, but because you play violin, start thinking about a theme show. But watch the shows. Don't just follow, like, subscribe. We're
I've
on
seen your show.
YouTube. You seen
Yeah,
it?
I've watched it before.
You like it?
Yeah.
I guess so. She wouldn't be here.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. Something about me, I'm honest. And if Pierre would have told me it was another show, I was like, oh, Pierre, I have to walk my fish. But
Well, thank you. I'm hungry.
no,
But
absolutely.
but yeah, if you, I mean, and I told her this, let me know what you come up with, something, something, intro and outro or something
Absolutely.
like
Yeah,
that.
I got you.
But anyway,
I'm going to shoot you at the end.
Cool. Thank you so much. If you want to see the show, if you want to follow after this to see the show tonight, it's on YouTube at Pops Gems.
Okay.
And so
And
if anybody else,
Eamon, make sure you get tell everybody where they can find you, where they can find your
Absolutely.
music.
You can find all my music, and my Instagram is Imen Musica. And my music and my Spotify is just Imen with a little hyphen in the E.
okay.
And
So
that's it.
you're on what? Spotify,
Yes,
YouTube,
sir. Spotify, Apple Music, all of them.
all of
So,
them. So you heard it here first. Pops Gems, download it before she becomes a megastar, and then you won't be able to get next to her. You have to talk to her people to talk to your people, and if you ain't got no people, then ain't gonna be no business.
my people will be Pierre.
Your
Because
people
I
will
was
be,
the
oh,
jack of
I'm
all
like
trades for the
Steve.
halftime show.
I'm
Pierre gonna be
like
managing,
Steve.
choreographing, and Pierre's gonna be the next model for the video. So we'll just have him wear some heels or
All
something.
right. I'm looking at the idea that intro,
Oh
Pierre.
my, oh my goodness. Nah, but
Thank
listen,
you so much for having me. me. I
Yes, ma'am.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you so much
Eman,
again.
thank you
We'll
for
see you
coming.
Of course.
when the album is released. Don't forget, come
Absolutely.
back.
I'm going to shoot you a
Don't
message.
Okay.
my dear. All right. So, it is thank you so much for her. It's always a pleasure, man. That was exciting and awesome. Future she has a very attractive young lady, very intelligent, very humble young lady, but also very confident. Yeah, but, she's my type.
Absolutely, pops. Yeah, like the
Okay, I feel
behind the scenes just in general, pops was different from a producer's perspective. So I'll speak from my perspective as probably well as Gene. So as two men producing a completely a 6 7 minute show for different artists in general, it becomes just a completely different dynamic from choreography to being able to sync all the music together to weaving people in and out. How do you exit? How do you enter? I think one of the most challenging parts about it for me, pops, was just like, how do we really mash everybody together and make sure that the show is a hit? And so it took several weeks in that time to really kind of mash everything up in the way that it happens. But as people will come to understand as things begin to get released on social media and streaming networks eventually, this is exactly how the music business is ran, with show production and entrance and exits and all that great stuff. So it's so much more than just what you see. So for people that don't know, like a show for Beyonce, even with Chris Brown, and those are just some notable celebrities, right? You get to see some of the behind the scenes, and y'all just have no idea, from the
none.
travel and the flights and the hotel
Listen,
check-in and then the 10-hour rehearsal days. And trust me, y'all.
2005, they did. It was Chris Brown, uh, Chingy, Tia
Hmm.
Marie, Special Ed.
Mm.
Who else was there? Dana Dane, Free and Tigger from 106 in Park at that time. They were all at the Tinker Field. My boy did all the
Mm.
stage and all that. He called me. He's like, "Hey man, what you doing?" I'm like, "Nothing, easy, man. Come down here. I need some help." And just to, I mean, all the different. You got a video crew. You got an audio crew. You got the sync between video and audio. You got the mics. You got the equipment. You got and this is just performance. You got stage changing. You got to make sure everything is queued up and synced. The performers are ready. Mics are checked, sound check. There's so much to a show, you know. A lot of people, complain about the tickets, but my prayer is that the money's going to the people that are really doing all the work. I understand the artists are artists. Don't get me wrong. Your due benevolence is due, but man, there's some work going behind putting these shows together.
Oh yeah,
Especially when
yeah.
you transition in, you got like a Super Bowl halftime show or basketball where it's a court, and then you got 15 minutes to put on a show, change everything, and get it back to where it was, before the buzzer rings, and Steve Curry come back out shooting threes.
So listen, so while we are on that part of the production, so the bells and whistles from lights to camera to action. So shout out to Nathan Berger, Caitlin Williamson, Norm and Tyler. So they make up the culmination from live entertainment to actual sales, and consumer engagement. And so, group reps and things of that nature. So Caitlin Williamson is our group representative. And she worked with us tirelessly. I mean, back and forth. And Nathan, they went to bat. So when we actually did our walkthrough, is what you all see in the video. That video has us in the arena, which they call like the arena before it opens to the public. It's shut down for anything that deals with NBA basketball teams, any broadcastings, anything like that, halftime, pregame. The only people that are allowed in that building are the people that are absolutely supposed to be there.
Wow.
And so this process is crazy. That's why people, like, when people see shows, like, they don't really know, like, And there's a lot, just like you said, Pops, there's so much, so many different dynamics and so many moving pieces that go to that. So shout out to the entire Orlando Magic group rep sales team, to Nathan Berger, the sales management, Tyler and Norm for live entertainment. You all worked so hard with us on that show, and they really don't get enough credit. I mean, these are people that are behind the scenes that sometimes you may never see and you may never meet. But if you all only knew the way they went to bat, and how they made sure we got in and got out and transitioned and moved and hit this, and okay, you need lights here, you need camera down here, and you need this over here. So being able to be in that type of environment, you all, as far as entertainment is concerned, those artists, as you've seen, Imen spoke highly of it, that there's a lot that goes on with
There
being
is,
an
man.
artist. It's more than just the check. It's more than just getting the check with the chains and the status. There's a lot of work that goes into being an artist.
That being said, let me press fast forward a little bit. So another city, another NBA team, uh, picked up on your idea. Talk about that.
Absolutely, of course. So, man, shout out to my people in Charlotte, North Carolina. The Charlotte
Congratulations.
Hornets. Yeah, Charlotte Hornets hit our line, and you know, uh, my business partner and I, we sat down and had a very deep conversation with the Charlotte Hornets, and we went up there and we premiered and debuted some things. Shout out to DJ Chuck T and everything that he's got going on up there with the Charlotte Hornets organization. So we are working tirelessly and effortlessly with a ton of NBA organizations. There's still more to unfold. There's still more to come. So y'all just stay tuned. This is gonna be
Okay.
different. This is gonna be real different. So there's a lot that goes into this, and there's a lot that's to come out of this. The ultimate goal
Hmm.
is to be able to take independent artists from concept, from idea, and put you feet to fire. Record labels don't want to have to make you an artist anymore. So, what's the number one way to make you an artist? Put you in front of 50 to 60,000 people.
And that's what I was gonna. I'm glad you mentioned that because I was talking when even you can hear me okay, right? Okay.
Hmm.
Even when Iman was on there, uh, about signing the CD. We're in an era now where, even Snoop Dogg and a couple of the other major artists were complaining because they're like, okay, we superseded the discs, the tapes, the CDs, the vinyl. We're past all of that. Now we're streaming. How do we know how many streams and how are we getting paid per? You know what I'm saying? They're like,
Right.
so this company getting 50 million streams and ain't paying nothing. You know what I mean?
Right.
To the
Right.
artist.
So just to give y'all a heads up, there's an actual breakdown when it comes to streaming. Now, as far as production, as far as like handling like actual show productions, we don't necessarily see that. We're in the room for some of those conversations, but we don't actually see the maturation and what it means to go from the show directly to streaming. What our number one focus is to disrupt the algorithm though, because the minute you have a show and you create a buzz around a live performance. For example, let's just go to the Super Bowl, like with Kendrick Lamar. That shot his record sales up, even though obviously we already know there's a small rivalry, and I say that
Right.
lightly, with Drake. Right? Drake was in the middle of a show in another state, in the middle of an entire concert, and the Super Bowl was happening. So that's the whole point. Like once you create a show and that show now goes all across the country. I mean, it can be seen on many different platforms, streaming platforms. That disrupts the algorithm that allows you to be seen as an artist and being placed in front of the right people. And that also leads to what they call syncing, music syncing. So shout out to Gene Culver. He's actually hosting a music sync licensing conference, the music conference happening May the 3rd, I believe it is. So you all make sure y'all go to Gene Culver, and I'll tag him here in the comments in just a second. And you all go check out that music conference. Artists, this is an opportunity for you to really understand how do you collect and how do you stream and make money, not only just on streams, but how do you get that song into reality TV shows, commercials, different radio advertisements, all that great stuff. So this is huge. It's an important. So this is a part of being an artist.
Right.
That's what this is. The show production is just about 50% of it, but the other 50% of it is how do I make residuals and how do I make money from this live production that I just did to disrupt the algorithm? How does that translate? So that's what we do for Road to Halftime. We create the first half of your disruption for the algorithm. And so now what we do is we fly in producers, we fly in A&Rs,
Wow.
we fly in executives, and we put them in a giant suite and let them feel rich for a little while. And they watch the show. They watch you perform, and they see the potential that you have to rock out in front of 60,000 people. And at that point,
You're a
it's
star.
you know, if they pick you, they pick you.
Yeah.
So that's what Imen was speaking to, is that she was speaking to the fact that you could be in a room with 100 people, you only need one
That's
yes, and
it. That's it.
that's it. So listen, artists under the sound of my voice, if you can hear me, make sure you go to Road to Halftime, subscribe, be a part of it, get involved. It's absolutely imperative. Wherever city we're at, we need you to tap in because we're disrupting the algorithm. It's going to change the face of the game, whether it's a soccer game, whether it's a basketball game. It doesn't matter where we're at. If we could take over a halftime show, please believe that's what our goal is, to disrupt the algorithm. So it's much bigger than just putting artists in a
Yeah.
room or putting dancers on. This is really to help an independent artist see their own value, as well as for record labels to see the value. Because, as I said before, you almost have to be self-made in this generation of music in order to get where you want to be and jump on a tour.
Yeah.
So
You can't come along looking to get discovered. You gotta
yeah, you
come
gotta
dressed to the party.
absolutely, you really do have to come dressed to the party. So that's just a little tidbit for you. I don't want to go too far into details. You know,
No,
we
no,
got to
no.
keep some things in
Yeah,
house,
no doubt.
but
But
yeah, that's really what we do. We disrupt it. We disrupt chaos. We cause organized chaos,
so
as they say.
when's the next one?
Ooh wee. So y'all stay tuned. The next Road to Halftime audition is dropping probably around September, and I can't tell you the team because right now we're up under an NDA. So
Ah,
so I want to tell y'all the team, but you know some of y'all
NDA
might
means
know it. So
non-disclosure. Okay, agreement means they
absolutely
can't talk about it.
can't
Well, you
drop it just yet.
non-disclosure, understanding people. Listen, Pierre, you know it's always a blast, man. Having you on the
Absolutely.
show. I see you uh, where this is gonna. You know how they do those little documentary type things, and
Hmm.
the behind the scenes and what it took to get there, and roll to the halftime show.
Hmm.
Somebody's gonna pick up on this and do an interview and put y'all, like you say, put more on the map. So much continued success always in all your endeavors.
I,
You
I
know that.
appreciate you, Pop. Thank you.
Did you finally get your pen?
I did not, Doc. I'm gonna get with you.
Listen,
We gonna tap in
now
offline.
I'm gonna tell you something because, and this is part of my announcement because we get ready to get out of here. So it's about that time for Pops to come out with another pen. So
Mm,
I'm gonna put you first on blast for that one because I
okay.
have one Pops Gems pen left. Also, let me make this announcement. Pops Gem is looking for a co-host, and we're auditioning. And I will have a couple people that I will need for you to speak to prior to that as we go to the next level. If you want to catch us for every Monday night here, Pops underscore Gems. Next week, what's his name? I got it. Nehemiah Leonard.
Mm.
Yes, very, very intelligent, very, very successful content. He'll tell you how to get your name out there on content. He'll be our guest next week. So then we're going to have him also. Let me see. Yeah, Nehemiah. And then we'll come back on the 12th and we're going to deal with some
That's
other
a
stuff.
that's that Mother's Day. That's that
Yeah,
Mother's Day weekend. So
that's
listen,
why
all the mothers out there ahead of time. Listen, we love y'all. Thank y'all.
Mother's Day
Oh
Monday. We're
goodness.
gonna call it Mother's
Woo.
Day Monday. So
Without y'all,
we
I'm telling you,
we're
we
gonna
don't know
talk
where we
about
would
that.
be. Without
You know, uh,
y'all, I don't know where we would
but
be.
yeah, so that continue to tune into that. If you missed the show tonight, or if you want to tell somebody, tell a friend, tell another friend, share it. We're on YouTube at Pops Gems. There's no underscore, just pop at Pops Gems. And don't just like and subscribe, follow it. Every show that we do is posted on there. So if you missed an episode, or if you want somebody to hear your name being said over the microphone or what have you, Road to Halftime, you have it there. There's a and let me say this, and I know Pierre agree with me. It's not just on the performance side. If you feel you could bring your talents to help something come to fruition in production, and anything that would be needed to bring this into fruition, hit Pierre up. You never know. He might need he might need a
Absolutely,
cameraman. He
absolutely.
might
Listen,
need
y'all.
somebody at the door to take tickets.
There's always gonna be a need.
Always,
Um,
always.
this is gonna be from city to city, state to state. And so we're gonna be looking for the top videographers, top production management teams. Like this is gonna give everybody a chance to really kind of live in their dream, live in their craft. This is huge. This is really, really big. So I like I said before, this thing is bigger than me. So I knew it was given to me by God Himself. Because there's just not enough. There's not enough I could really say about it. So
I guess that's my
y'all
little
just,
dog saying it's time.
yep.
Um,
So listen, I appreciate
always,
y'all, pops. Thank you
nothing but
so
love,
much.
man. Nothing but love.
I'ma
Thank you so much.
sign out, y'all.
Just
Y'all be good.
anything we can do for you, make sure that you hit Pops Gems up. This
There you
Pops
go.
Gems, we're gonna cut it. It's a little 5 minutes before, but nevertheless, to you, and you, road to halftime. Follow it. Be about it. If you don't do nothing else, support it. Share Pops Gems. Tell everybody about it. Tell a friend and another friend. Next week, Nehemiah Leonard. You don't want to miss that. Again, this is your boy Pops from Pops Gems. This is Pops Perspective. Till next week. Peace.